What is up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingNudes.com and welcome to the first Kentucky Derby update of the season. We like to do these on Tuesdays. We do it around the Fantasy League Magic. You're in character, I guess, today, right?
Bitch, I'm always in character, which means I'm always ready to go, always ready to lose a claim. I showed up specifically just to lose this claim that we're trying to shake for.
Well, the good news is you showed up.
Yeah, which I could. Where are the rest of the bitch ass marks in this league, huh? Nobody's showing up today. Everybody suddenly got something important to do. No, you guys can't. This is the problem. Everybody shows up for the draft. Everybody's all excited. January 3rd, the first show of the year. Where is everybody? Asleep at the wheel, like most of them at the draft.
I know. I ask myself that same question often, Magic, but we're here and we're going to do it. So here's what we're going to do. We will do the claim. We're doing the Fantasy League claim. We've got 7 teams that are in for Faustin, so we're going to do that. We could have 2 teams in for Banishing, so we'll do that if we need to, and then we might have another claim or 2 depending on how those shake out. So we're going to do that first, get that out of the way, and then we're going to kind of talk about the horses, give a little update, and get out of here. All right, Magic, let's do it. Let's do the claims first. What do you say?
Let's do it. No intro. You're just gonna. How are people supposed to? We're doing a Faustin. You want to talk about it? Or you want to do it after this?
We'll talk about the horses after. Let's get the fantasy stuff out of the way, and then we'll talk about the horses.
That's good because then I can. If I win the claim, I'll tell you why this horse is amazing, and if I lose the claim, I'll tell you why he's just dog crap.
Okay, I like it. All right, so just to show you, the generator is working. It is producing new numbers as I click it. I don't want people to think I'm cheating. There's 7 people in for Faustin, all right? Paul will be number 1. Magic Mike Show, that's you. Number 2. Real Dynasty 3. Dan and Michael 4. Jared 5. John and Ryan 6. And myself 7. So there are 7 people in for Faustin. All right, I'm going to do it. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. Number 7. I love this. I have got Faustin. So I will claim Faustin in this situation here. And I'm going to drop Red Route 1. I didn't really want to drop anyone because, I not all my 5 horses are in training. They're, going to get ready to run here or there. So didn't really want to drop anyone, but I thought Faustin was good enough for the drop here. I really was impressed with the debut. I really was impressed with the pedigree, how he won it. I think he's going to be really good stretching out in distance. All right, Magic, tell us your thoughts on Faustin.
I mean, you've got to love a curling colt. This is why why we thought would be a good fit here. A colt that was bought for $800,000 by Michael Lund Peterson. If any of you guys out there ever screwed up and at the last second you're like, I got to get something for that special someone in my life, get some Pandora jewelry. You were supporting this guy buying horses. So the Pandora jewelry guy, a former owner of Gamine, lots of just ultra clean Bob Baffert horses that never failed a drug test, all owned by this guy. Out of a hard spun mare, hard not to like, not hard not to love, very confusing, but a multiple grade 1 winner on the grass. It's curling. You would think this horse might be a grass horse as well. My one concern, Aaron, is that he had a half brother with Bob Baffert that we thought could be really great. He debuted at 2, almost won. He was in a race with Forbidden Kingdom and Cumwe, who were both ended up being stakes horses. This horse, Rhetoric, he didn't really turn into much after that. He had a really nice 6 furlong maiden special weight win at 3. He's by Quality Road and just never really kept it going. So this did look like a good effort. My one concern, even we did put in the claim for him, usually the best Baffert horses on the trail, they're the ones that are sharp out of the gate. They lead and they just keep going. Horses that, even I know he was a little slow out of the gate, struggled and showed good speed. The one concern, anytime you see a Baffert horse not immediately jump to the lead and get going, it's a little concerning, but you got to think that at 6 furlongs was just getting started, like you said.
Yep, I agree. It is a little bit concerning. You're right. Most of his good horses do not come from out of it. I'm just kind of hoping, like I said, at first start, wasn't, just kind of stumbled out of the gate a little bit and just kind of didn't get his feet moving until later on in that race. And hopefully they stretch out. He will be able to show that forwardly play speed. So, like I said, I was on the fence because I like my 5 horses, but I just felt like Faustin was one that I wanted. I loved the pedigree, and I won a race. So I have the points.
Yeah, we'll get about that in a second. I'm still mad that you got that horse right before us in the draft. Is this your first Baffert horse on your team, or do you have multiple Bafferts now?
This would be my second. I have Arabian Lion.
Oh, I forgot about that. I literally did forget about that. Just like Bob forgot to give that horse the good stuff in his race.
I know. I hope he gives the good stuff to Faustin and Arabian Lion for the next race. Actually, no, it's my third. I have Reincarnate too. I forgot about that horse.
Wow. All right. Just, I mean, listen, you just got to throw darts sometimes and hope that you get the right Baffert that got the right stuff on the right day.
Yeah, I know. Three Baffert horses, and like I said, one just finished fifth out of a field of 5, so that's great. So we will see how Arabian Lion comes out. But all right, let's do a two-way shake now for Banishing. It's going to be between Paul and John and Ryan. So Paul will be the one. Here, let me change this now to where it's going to have 2. Well, Paul will be 1. John and Ryan will be 2. I'll hit the generator there to show you it's going for both numbers. Paul and John and Ryan both going for Banishing. All right, here we go. Banishing. Let's go for it. And it will be Paul. Paul will get Banishing. We did not put in a claim for this horse. Talking about you and I both. What are your thoughts on Banishing?
You know, it was a good effort. You know, a great debut. He was racing inside, showed good fight on the front end, and then just drew away when he was asked. The concern I have purely from a fantasy league perspective, how often at least once a year, Aaron, we see a Brendan Walsh horse debut with a solid effort, and then they just never back it up. And it's not necessarily even Brendan Walsh's fault, is that sometimes the ownership might push him into getting the horse to the Derby trail and to a Derby prep right away. Sometimes it just, the horse just has a big freak effort, and then we don't see them show up again for several weeks, months, etc. So the plus side, he's got Godolphin backing him up. But if you look at the family's pedigree, lots of horses that won one time and never did anything else after that. 3 of those were trained by Brendan Walsh. I'm a little nervous about this one. We feel like we have the fairgrounds circuit covered. We've got Phileas Fogg. We've got Tappet Shoes. We think we're solid there. Phileas Fogg is a Godolphin homebred as well with Mike Stidham. So didn't have any interest in this horse from a fantasy perspective. He is intriguing. Got to be a little careful with Brendan Walsh horses, what they do from this maiden effort.
That was kind of my deal. I wanted to see another race, right? It was a really good first effort, first breaking the maiden, actually second effort, but first win breaking the maiden there at Fairgrounds. And it did look pretty flashy, was kind of a horse. It's like, yeah, he's on my radar now for sure. But I was with you. I kind of wanted to see one more race from him. Same with Shesterkin, a horse that debuted for Todd Pletcher at Gulfstream Park. I almost put in a claim for that horse, but at the end of the day, just wanted to see one more from that horse. By the way, Paul dropped Gun Pilot to pick up Banishing. I forgot to mention that. We do have 2 more claims, and they'll go without shakes that I want to mention right now. John and Ryan will have claimed a Neural Network and have dropped Echo again. So Neural Network, a Chad Brown horse that is pointing for the Jerome this weekend, reportedly. Horse was a maiden special weight winner at Aqueduct. So Neural Network now with John and Ryan. And also Jared has claimed Tappet Trice and has dropped Abstract. Of course, Tappet Trice beat Abstract in that maiden special weight. One of them finished first, one of them finished last. Jared now has the first place winner of that one. Any thoughts on those 2 horses?
Tappet Trice, we thought about possibly putting in as a backup claim, decided against it. At least Jared's going to have the winner out of that race because, boy, did his draft pick completely just not show up there. As far as John and Ryan's, look, I'm not going to sit here and say that it was a crazy pick, but I don't know about this one. As a New York bred by Cloud Computing, one in the mud at 7 furlongs. If you get a muddy track for the Jerome, you could see this horse stretch out and handle that. But as far as long term, I don't know. This isn't a horse that gets me super excited. There is a New York bred in New York that may or may not be pointing to the Jerome that I am excited about. This is not that horse.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I definitely think it's kind of a low risk type of horse in a way because I do think, if he's going to run on that circuit there at Aqueduct, he can pick up some points. He can get it done. But it's kind of I don't know. I don't know what the ceiling is for this horse. I'm not sure about him. But listen, they've got him and they got rid of Echo again. Echo again's a horse that's really disappointing. I thought he would be pretty good there in the Springboard Mile, and he just wasn't at all. So we'll see what happens with him. Maybe he can rebound. I'm not sure. All right. Let's wrap this thing up with what's going to come up this weekend. We have the Jerome that I just mentioned. We also have the Sham. I think the biggest story out of the Sham is somebody who's not going to be there. How about Arabian Night? He was not nominated for the Sham. How surprised are you with that news?
A little surprised, but there are so many. Slightly surprised, but I also felt like this was going to be Baffert's traveling horse, his Oaklawn horse. So with the Southwest in 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks here. To me, this always felt like with a horse that because he sent him to Keeneland for that debut, right? Never ran him in California. So the fact the horse shipped to Keeneland, big stage, massive crowds, we were there to see that one. To me, I think this is okay. If you are a fan of Arabian Night, nothing to be concerned about. Baffert shipping to Oaklawn traditionally. I mean, even you remember Newgrange, that horse was like a half of a donkey, and he still went out there and won a couple of preps. He was good enough to do it. Baffert knows what it takes to win those. Arabian Night to the Southwest seems like the way to go.
Yeah, I don't know. I was still a little bit surprised, but you're right. And he is working out steadily, so shouldn't really assume anything as of yet. But it was a little bit surprising. By the way, in the Sham, Bob Baffert has 9 horses nominated, so we'll see how many he actually runs. Spun Intended also nominated, a horse I think we both really liked. Early thoughts, the Baffert Brigade, Spun Intended, maybe packs a wallop. We don't know the field yet, but what do you think?
Listen, God bless Mark Glatt for they've got Spun Intended out there. They've really loved this horse. Mike Smith is going to keep riding with him. And as long as Mike Smith keeps riding, he's been lights out for Mark Glatt for several months. And this horse is one that both parties are very excited about. When Mike Smith is excited about a 3-year-old and it's not a Baffert, you really got to go, wow, that horse must be really good. So I don't know as far as win goes, going to always have to face some Bafferts, but feels like the horse that will always be there around hitting the board and giving a great effort.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's going to be pretty tough in that field. He might just beat all those Bafferts because who's nominated. It's not really the ones, at least from how we're thinking of them right now. It's not like some of his better ones, like Reincarnate is Newgate, horses like that. So we'll see what happens there. Jerome is probably going to be Arctic Arrogance, going to be the big favorite. You own that horse. What are kind of your thoughts on him?
I mean, that's the New York bred I said I was excited about. You've got the leading, the top trainer and top owner from the Aqueduct meet, the same person, Miss Linda Rice, finally going to hopefully get some vindication for all of the unfair treatment that she's gotten. All she was doing was just giving some nice Christmas gifts to people. She's a woman of the people, just like the Magic Mike Show was a team of the people. We respect that. We're all aboard the Linda Rice vindication train. 2023 is going to be the year of Linda Rice. She's going to get her Derby horse, get this horse right up there in the Triple Crown picture. Max Player wasn't good enough to do it. This one is.
It's probably time to get off of here after that one. I think we've covered it, right? One other thing I want to mention: Sunday, there is an allowance race at Gulfstream Park on Sunday. It could produce something pretty nice. We've got Litigate in that race. We've got Mr. Ripple in that race. We have Rudder's Men in that race. It's a pretty loaded event. That's Sunday, race 8. It's a feature at Gulfstream Park. Obviously, not a Kentucky Derby prep or anything like that. It's just an allowance. But this is a big time race. This is a race that whoever wins, maybe even who gets second, is going to step up on that Kentucky Derby trail next. I know you probably haven't looked that far ahead yet, Magic, but those are definitely some flashy names.
Oh, yeah. Well, Pletcher's got a couple in here. He's got Litigate. You mentioned Rudder's Men was a horse that we were both excited about. You got for the Fantasy League. And good old Dale Romans is in here. You've got to love when Dale Romans brings in a horse that has got some form that some crazy people are going to look at and go, hey, you might actually have a chance in. No. Cyclone Mischief, no. Deer District, no. You want to waste money on Sunday, January 8th? Bet one of those horses in this race. Not going to.
We'll say this about these Roman horses. I'm not going to bet them, but Cyclone Mischief gets Luis Saez. Deer District gets Tyler Gaffleone. I've heard these two horses are decent. I'm not betting these horses. I'm not telling anybody to bet them. I don't think these are trash horses, though. I think they're pretty good. And I think the jockeys they picked up are pretty telling that, hey, there's some talk that they at least have a little bit of run. So I think it's very interesting. I'm not going to be completely shocked if one of them win. But, yeah, I'm backing Rudder's Men as of now in that race. Obviously, I have to. I really love that horse. I loved him in the draft. But I'm here to tell you that Mr. Ripple for Safi Joseph has got a big future, ahead of him, and he is working out like crazy, like lights out right now. And then Litigate was a really nice winner on debut too. So really good race. Those 3 races should be very good. We should have some shakeups.
And just a nice little plug over at youtube.com/racingdudes. We do have a playlist of all maiden wins for horses that we think were going to be major players for the Kentucky Derby Trail. I'm looking through this race on Sunday at Gulfstream Park, which is probably going to be better than most of the stakes that we've seen up to this point for these horses. You can see the replays for Mr. Ripple, for Rudder's Men, for Litigate. You can go watch those on our channel. You don't have to have an ADW. You don't have to search through all the bullshit on your ADW to find these replays. youtube.com/racingdude. Subscribe. We're going to keep having these ones come out. The horses that we got claimed today or that we talked about, if you're like, I don't know who that horse is, I didn't see that replay, guess what? We got you covered. Why? Because we're people. We're the men of the people right here at racingdudes.com.
That's a great plug for yourself there, Magic. You worked very, very hard to get all those replays up. Like I say, they're up, and if they're decent, they're probably on our page. And if they're decent and they're not on our page, it just means they haven't run yet. But we'll get them on the page as soon as they run. So that's probably a good way to wrap it up. I think this was a good first show to kick off the January Kentucky Derby prep shows. Like I said, we usually do these on Tuesdays, especially when we have a shake. Yes, the people of the men, Magic. No. Yeah. All right, we're going to get off of here, guys. Magic, I appreciate you showing up for work today.
A little too much Jack this morning in my coat.
Well, listen, you're back, and that's all that matters. You got home from Michigan, even though you flew Southwest, so that's amazing. You're one of the
There's not a single problem. I don't know what all this bitching was about Southwest. We just walked up, we were like, hey, it's me. It's Magic. I got my wife, got little Magic here. We good to go? They said, oh, yes, sir, Mr. Magic. You're going to sit right up here with the pilots. They let Colson fly the plane a little bit. We waved at you and Heather. You were driving through the god-awful state that is Kansas. Colson spit out the window, but I don't think it hit you. I think it hit the car behind you. So if you suddenly thought there was a little bit of rain in Kansas, it wasn't God pissing on you. It was Colson spitting.
A stupid, naive, silly little goose.
Okay, we're going to get out of here after that little rant from Magic. We're good. It's very, very, very good to see you back, Magic. I appreciate you showing up today, and I appreciate you because I had to do some of those videos, and it sucks posting all those, so I'm glad you're back. I appreciate you very much. Okay, we're going to get off of here, guys. That's it for the Kentucky Derby update for this week. Have fun watching these races coming up this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm guessing we'll be back next week. All right, guys, we'll see you.
RacingDudes.com is your home for the best free picks for every race, every track across the country. We're ramping up for the 2023 Kentucky Derby, and we want you to join us in the fun. Subscribe to Racing Dudes YouTube channel and click the notification bell so you never miss a single video. Want to make money betting horses? Bet with the Racing Dudes.